I will mute you all. Not that I don't love you talking, but... Oh, I'm trying to share my screen. That's not what we want to do. Manage participants. Mute all. And just for the purposes of the camera, so when you get it sent through to you afterwards, you'll be able to remember what it is that you need. In today's class, you don't need a strap or a block like you normally would do, but you do need something to kneel like this with. So it might be like a bed or a chair or something. If you think kneeling is going to hurt you, feel free for the first exercise to do a child's pose. So it's kind of similar, but a bit easier. So you're going to need something to kneel over, and you're also going to need a wider space of wall for some of the exercises that we're going to do later on. So the first exercise that we're going to do, as I just said, is involving this poofy thing, and it's called kneeling counter stretch. So for kneeling counter stretch, you want to put your knees on the floor, hip width apart, and you're looking, and you can kind of work with your body's limits here. So if it feels like it's going to be too much, you can fold your arms so that they're crossed over. But if you want a really big stretch through your shoulders, you can sink into your arms like so. So you can see in this position, I've got my pelvis rolled forward, so I've got a big arch through my back, and I'm kind of sinking into my shoulders. I'm looking at the camera, but I want you guys to relax your heads off. So just allow your heads to flop, because we don't want your necks to get tense. So you're holding this, you're trying to keep the tops of your feet flat on the floor throughout, so your feet are in plantar flexion, and you're going to draw your hips back slightly so that you'll feel a bit more of a tug kind of at the bottom of your shoulder blades. So you're in the position, you're sinking into it, and then draw those hips back slightly, allow your head to relax, and I'm going to count us down 45 seconds here. And for the rest of you, feel free to do a child's pose. So 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34. Keep rolling that pelvis forward and drawing the hips back. 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Remember, you're trying to keep the tops of those feet on the floor as you do it. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and you can kind of just relax off there. So just to quickly explain that one before we go on to the next move, I'm going to be a bit kinder than I normally am and give you just a little bit of a break in between each exercise. So in that position there, what you're doing is you're getting a hip hinge. So you're getting your pelvis into extension, you're switching on the hip flexors, and you're making sure that that movement is happening at the pelvis rather than in your lower back. So if you're somebody who struggles, oh, you can't actually see me on the screen there, who struggles to bend over with this without having this kind of big hump in their back, it's teaching you that kind of fundamental movement that we need to achieve, which is the hip hinge action. So you're teaching your hips to hinge whilst you're extending your spine, and you're getting a really good thoracic extension there. So for any of you that have spent all day hunched over your computers, that is basically the opposite of being sat over your computer all day. Next up, we're going to do another kneeling exercise, kneeling wall clock. For kneeling wall clock, and for quite a few of the exercises that we're doing tonight, you're going to need to do your golfer's grip. So I know lots of you have already done golfer's grip before. It's not a fist. You're keeping those fingers like snug into your hands, and notice here that I'm straight up until that first finger. The thumbs stay out. This is a very active, engaged pose, okay? So your hands are going to want to get floppy and sort of cheat, but we're trying to turn on every muscle in your body from top to toe. So keeping that active throughout this. You're going to find your wall, and actually you might be better off just watching me first, and then I'll come back and describe it to you again. You're kneeling against the wall like this. Your knees are hip width apart, feet tucked under, hands in golfer's grip towards the ceiling. You're keeping your quads glued against the wall as you do this. So quads against the wall. you're pushing up with your hands, but backing down with your shoulder blades. And you're going to hold this here for a minute in this position, a minute in 45 degrees, and a minute in 90 degrees.